This is like the first historical piece I ever played, like on a Baroque violin. This is like the piece that started me, like, doing Baroque music, like this whole life choice. So it's like, for me, it's like a really special piece. And then for violin repertoire, it's like one of the most exciting pieces to play for like early 17th century music. Artistically, it's challenging, but expression-wise, it's really worth it. When you first play it, the first read, revista, then you're just getting a sense of how it sounds from the music. So obviously you're 100% on the music, but you're also, I guess you're not, because you're also listening to the person that you're playing it with and seeing how it fits together. You're trying to work it out. It's like a puzzle that you have to kind of sort out, so you know, like, okay, this is how we change into this is how maybe we could change it to here. It's like a blurry picture on a computer screen that you then bring into focus. I suppose that's what your first read of it is. And then after that, then you're working out the individual colours and also where the phrases are going, and you know what is the feeling of each piece, what's the feeling of each area. Now this piece, I don't need the music. I can play it without the notes because I know it so well, because now it's like probably 10 times or something I've performed it, so I really know it. Doing it from memory, it's like it's a different experience than doing it from music. Like when you're looking at the music, it's like much more black and white. When you play it from memory, then it's kind of like, you know, if you wear a blindfold but you can see out the bottom and you can just see what's there at your feet. That's kind of what it's like here. It's like you can just see the notes that you're just a way to play, and that's it, and you can't think of anything bigger, because then you'll get lost. The instrument is just there for people who can't sing, or you know, we just imitate the voice, basically. That's all we do in this, and yeah, that you're thinking about how you would sing it. You're just thinking of the musical line, and I guess like maybe the closest is to imagine, you know, like when you sing Happy Birthday, then you're not thinking about, oh, what's this note's relation into that one, or how does this fit into that. You're just thinking about the tune Happy Birthday, and this is just a more complex version of that feeling. And often when you're playing the violin or you're playing the trombone or something, you're imagining singing it, like the emotions that the composer has laid out for us here, and I want you to feel them. It's like a gift to you, you know, like here is joy, here is happiness, or here's this story. Or musicians are generally very sensitive to emotions, to other people's emotions, to what people are feeling, and to be very instinctive about like tapping into what somebody else is feeling and hearing it, even though they don't say I'm sad or I'm happy or whatever, like knowing where that person is, because that's a skill that you really need on stage. I guess, you know, like if you think of like a film, then the director is the one who wants to say these things, and he wants to, you know, to say something about whatever it is, you know, love or war or something. And then he has the actors and the stage people and the producer and the editors and everything, and they all make that message for him. And I guess that's what we are. We're like, we make the message happen, but he's the one with the idea. Like in the actual performance, that's what you're doing, is you're feeling the emotion enough to be able to put it into the violin, to give it, to create it in somebody else. And in the practice, you might use words to work out how to emphasize something, or how to play it, or you think of the phrase, so where it should go to. But when you're actually performing it, you're not thinking of these nuts and bolt brickwork things anymore. You're thinking about your voice, and you're singing it and all this. So there's that, but also it has to be to somebody. It's like such a fascinating balance that I still haven't got to the bottom of, to be honest. Because you're finding yourself in your own music, but you're saying it to somebody else, and you don't want, you know, if you play a sad piece, you don't want to cry yourself. You want to invoke somebody else to cry. You know, or you have joy and you want somebody else to feel that joy or that excitement or whatever it is. So you have to invoke it in that other person. It's more like feeling those emotions, but not being overwhelmed by them, instead putting them into the music. It's a form of self-expression because you're saying something, but also it's a form of communication because you're saying it to somebody. It's not like what I feel when I play. It's not as tangible as colour or shapes. It's like it's an emotion. And if you read a sad poem and you end up crying, then it's just yourself that you're eliciting that feeling in. It has to be a balance of like knowing what that emotion is, but being able to project it. And I guess, like, in my mind, especially, you know, like a piece like this where I know so well, I think less and less about the technical things. I mean, there's a couple of technical things in there, but because I know it so well now, it doesn't, like, I can kind of rely on myself to probably do most of the technical things. But I am able to, like, just feel those emotions and try and, like, project it to somebody else. And I kind of imagine something to do with singing, like I'm somehow singing or speaking. There's like a channel that I'm projecting, and it's the sound. The sound is the projection. But I'm trying to, like, these things here, I'm trying to project them out for people to feel.